This is the last video you need to watch on landing an appointment setting role. 3 proven paths, step by step, no theory. Pick the one that fits where you are right now and you should have an offer in the next 2 weeks. Most people are making this way harder than it needs to be. They're sending copy-paste DMs from accounts that look like scam pages, following up twice, and giving up. Or reaching out to people with 500,000 followers who are never going to reply to you in the first place. After this video, that is not going to be you. We're covering how to find the right people to actually reach out to, how to do it in a way that gets replies, how to evaluate offers so you don't land on something terrible, and how to pass the interview when you get it. Let's get into it. If you're wondering why you should listen to me, I run the #1 setting coaching company in the entire space. We've helped over 100 people go from zero to anywhere between $3,000 and $30,000 a month with setting. And I also ran a recruitment and management agency where we placed over 100 reps onto vetted offers and generated over $11.2 million combined for our clients. I know exactly what serious offers are looking for in a setter, and I'm giving that to you for free right now. There are 3 ways to land a setting role. And instead of telling you to go and blast DMs and figure it out, I'm gonna break down all 3 so you can pick what actually fits your situation. Path 1 is outreach. This is for you if you want to start today, you have no network yet, and you want to be completely in control of your own timeline. It is more work up front, but it works. Path 2 is network building. This is a longer term play, but the best offers almost never come through cold messages, they come through relationships. Path 3 is getting placed. You skip the whole outreach thing entirely and you get placed straight onto a vetted offer. I'll break down all 3 and by the end you'll know exactly which one to go for. Path 1 is outreach. You see, outreach still works, but only if you are strategic about how you do it. I've had a lot of people message me saying they spent hours and hours and hours sending messages and they got no outcome out of it. But I promise you, if all you're doing is volume and you have no strategy and you're just doing outreach on outreach on outreach, copy-paste message over and over again, you are only going to burn your time and you're not going to get any reply because you look at like everybody else in the industry. The setters who land something in 2 to 4 weeks do 3 things differently. Number 1, they reach out to the right people. Number 2, they have the right method. And number 3, they consistently follow up while other people quit. Most of the coaches in the space that don't even really know what they're doing tell you to message coaches and creators, but that is the lowest quality play you can make. I promise you, that is such a waste of your time, and these guys have no idea what they're teaching. There are 4 main people you should reach out to, or the 4 horsemen if you want to call it that. Number 1 is sales managers, number 2 is closers, number 3 is growth operators, and then number 4 is coaches and creators last. Last, not first, but last. Realistically speaking, sales managers and setting managers are your best bet. They already manage a bunch of setters anyway, so they're always on the hunt for good quality reps that can help them make more money. Which is why they are the lowest hanging fruit if you actually have a good message to send. The second one is closers. As you can imagine, more booked calls means more money for a closer. It is in their direct interest to work with a great quality setter who could potentially be you. If the closer you're reaching out to is actually good and he's making good money, they will usually be pretty well connected in the space. They will most likely always know when roles are opening up before anybody else does because they can see the setter quality deteriorate and they're probably in talks with the offer owner or the manager anyway. Then you have growth operators who are pretty much working directly with the creator and either managing the sales team or running it themselves while also doing all the operational side of things too. I have a lot of growth operator friends who manage their own sales teams and they always need good reps. They're always hitting me up. If you come across as someone who's actually legitimate, you have a pretty good chance with them as well. And the final one, which is probably one of the worst ones you can reach out to, is coaches and creators. It's still not terrible, but it's not that great. If they have 500,000 followers or something in that range, like 1 mil, 2 mil, I promise you they're not replying to your message. Their setter is probably replying to your message. You have a way better chance of finding an offer if you message someone who has like 30 to 50K followers range. Anything less than that, they're probably not making money. Anything more than that, they probably already have a pretty good setup, a pretty good sales team. You kind of want to catch people early on with that. Finding all of these people is way more simple than you think. You can go to any of the 4 horsemen and then just scroll through their following. For example, if you go into my following, I'm a coach, you're going to find coaches. So if you go on my following and you find a closer, you're probably going to see they follow closers, managers follow managers, operators follow operators. That is like your whole list. That is where your opportunity is. If you're wondering how many messages you should send, you do not want to do a crazy amount right away. Instagram restricts a lot of people nowadays, so you kind of want to start slow and then warm up the account first. For your first week, you kind of want to do maybe 10 to 15 messages per day. After that, you kind of want to do like 30 to 50. Like I said, if you do more than that, you might have restrictions with Instagram and then you'll lose momentum because you're getting blocked and you can't outreach for ages. I would be careful. Now, there are 3 main ways to do outreach. Number 1 is DMs, number 2 is voice notes, and number 3 is Looms. I'm going to be honest with you about all 3 of them. DMs is the easiest to send, but it's also the easiest to ignore. I get DMs from setters all the time. I think it's a joke. Like, I will never have respect for you if you send me the same copy-paste message about how you can be a setter for me. I don't care. Like, you look so lazy. However, it is great for volume, but you will never get a great offer off of it because nobody will really respect you. I would give it like a 3 out of 10. Number 2 is voice notes. A lot of people, especially smaller creators, will click on it because they don't really know what's coming. It's like a Trojan horse. It might annoy some people, but it's not really bad. It's probably better than messages. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. And the final one, which I think is best, which is also the hardest to do, is Loom videos. It will separate you from everybody else who is sending a stupid voice message or a stupid copy-paste DM, and it will give you a way better chance of getting somebody to actually watch it and take you serious. It is very clear that Loom videos are the best option, but how do you actually make them work? You want a clean background, you want decent lighting, you want no stutters, and you want to make it like sub 90 seconds. If you go any longer, nobody's watching all that, I promise you. I'm not going to tell you exactly what to say in your Loom video. I'm not your uncle, even though I look like it. You need to get pretty creative with it. I would definitely cover who you are, what relevant experience you have, where you want to go, and what your unique edge is, or why you're better than every other option they might have. So if you have like retail or hospitality experience, I used to work at a supermarket, for example, I could talk about that because it makes me look better than a lot of other people because I have like customer experience. If you already have a pretty good skill set of setting and like you want to get really artistic and creative with it, what I would suggest you even do is like a DM funnel breakdown and explain how it can be improved. Like that would get me like, wow, you're great, you're better than my setter. But if you are a beginner and you don't have like crazy experience, I would just lead with the hunger and the goals, not with the results you don't really have yet. When you look back at your Loom video, by the way, a question I would ask yourself is, if I was making $50,000 to $100,000 per month, would I hire this guy? Because if you look like a chipmunk on a screen, nobody's gonna hire you. But if you're actually like cleaned up and you look pretty decent, people will give you a better chance. First impressions matter a lot more than you think. Whatever you end up using, make sure to pair it with a short DM that actually makes them want to open it. So like kind of a teaser, who you are, what you're doing, that type of thing. The next thing I would mention is that your profile actually needs to look good. Before anybody will take any message you send seriously, they will look at your account. What I would suggest is you have a real photo of you, not a photo of some anime character, a bio that kind of says what you do, and a following that makes you look like a real person if possible. If you don't have one, it's okay, but you don't want to message with an account that has like 5 followers. If you can, and this will make your account look better, wins and testimonials if you have them. If you don't, that's fine, but I would also strongly suggest you have like lifestyle photos that show you on holidays or with friends. The whole point is you want to avoid looking like a scam page, and before you send any messages, make sure your account actually looks good. Next, I'm going to talk about follow-ups. You probably don't know this, but most setters quit after sending 2 messages, which is why they never get any replies. The average reply rate for me when I was doing outreach would be 3 or 4 messages. If you're wondering what messages to send, day 1 you do the initial message, day 3 you follow up with their name, day 5 you're like, hey, wondering if you had a chance to see it, day 7 you resend the Loom video or like an original new message. I don't want to give you too much guidance because you should get pretty creative with what you say. Don't say some crazy weird things. It's not going to make you look good. But if everyone sends the same stuff like the template I just gave you, it's not going to work as efficient. You're going to look like everybody else. So get pretty creative with what you're actually sending people. And also don't stop after like 2 or 3 messages. Like I would even go up to 7 messages. Now that is outreach and it works. But if you want access to the best offers in the space, there is a different play. As you spend more time in the space, you'll notice that the best offers almost never really come through cold outreach. They come through someone vouching for you or like a referral or network. The way I see it is outreach is a short-term tool and network is long-term leverage that you probably want. It's also worth noting that the best offers will get filled through referrals before they ever really get posted publicly. So knowing people is a way easier way to do it. Here's how to start building a network even if you have 0 connections right now. There are a lot of free Discord servers and communities in this space. If you show up, you talk to people, you're actually trying to be useful and like building relationships with setters, closers, operators, you will make friends with people. The whole point is you aren't really trying to pitch or sell yourself here yet. Like you are just trying to make friends with people in the industry, give advice where you can. Opportunities will come out of that. If you're building a network from 0 and you don't have one, what you can do if you want is you can find someone in the space you respect and offer to pay them for like 15 to 30 minutes of their time. Even $40 for a call with someone who can vouch or refer you to people is like a very good way to get on an offer, because like $40 and now let's say you're making a few $1,000s per month is a pretty good investment. What I will say is that the setters making 10K per month are not better at sending DMs. They're not significantly smarter than you. They are just better known. Building a network is not optional if you actually want to do well in the long term. It is just a question of when you start actually doing it. Outreach and network building are not either or. I would really suggest you do both. Every single person you reach out to is a potential network contact, even if they have no role for you right now. Sometimes it's just right time and right place. The outreach builds the network as a side effect as well, by the way. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I don't want to spend weeks on outreach, I don't want to risk landing on a bad offer with no support, I just want to get placed directly on something I know is actually good, that is exactly what we do at Setters Academy. We run a coaching company and we are the only ones who own a setter marketplace where recruiters, offer owners, and managers come to us when they need reps. We negotiate pay and vet the offers as well. And you skip the part where you waste months on something terrible before you even figure out what a good one looks like. We have placed over 100 appointment setters, and our managers that hire from our marketplace started as setters in our coaching company, Setters Academy. The offers we work with are the ones that we've already screened and we actually know convert and make money and do well. Now, before you say yes to anything, it is important for you to know the difference between a good and a bad offer. Most people end up skipping this part. They land on a terrible offer, decide setting doesn't work for them, and then they just quit. That is not setting not working. That is just you being on a terrible offer. I'm going to give you a quick checklist you can go through, and then I'm going to give you a mental model you can follow at the end of this. Commissions, 5% minimum, 7.5% is like great. Anything below 5% is usually not worth your time unless the offer is like crazy and making like millions per month. The program price should be minimum 3K. 5% of a 1K program is $50 per sale. That is a waste of your time. Minimum 3K, 5% is $150. It's not terrible. It compounds. Another thing is revenue. The offer should be doing at least $30,000 per month. 5% on $30,000 per month is $1,500 a month. If you're making like 10K or 5K on an offer, you're making nothing. An underrated one as well for you to know is setter count. If there are like 8 setters on an offer making $50,000 per month, you guys are going to be splitting crumbs. You want to be like the only setter on an offer. Unless it's pretty good, then it's fair to have 2. If it's massive, it's probably going to have a bunch. Another one is base pay or bonus. Push for this if you can, especially if you have experience. One of the offers currently in our marketplace has a 1K base pay and a 1K bonus on top of the 5% commissions, which is like pretty good. Then we have content output. If they're not posting regularly, you can imagine that there's probably no lead flow, which means that no matter how hard you work, there's probably just not going to be leads on the account. It's crazy that we have to check now, but you should check if they post consistently. Last but not least is team culture. You are going to be on their account every day. Make sure of a couple of things. Number 1, you actually like them and you get on well with them. Number 2, ideally there's support systems to help you. And number 3, they sell a good product or service. Do not end up selling a scam. Don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth your morals for the money. A really good question to ask on an interview to kind of gauge how the team operates is what happened to the previous setter. If they got fired, okay, cool. I know to operate at a specific standard. What is that standard? I can find out. If they transitioned into a closer, cool. I like that because now I know that I can transition and scale with the team as I grow. But if the setter randomly quit, then I'm like, okay, well, why did the setter quit? Did they have a better opportunity? Did they not make enough money? You know, it's kind of a good question to ask because you can get so much information out of it. If you're watching this video right now, you've probably watched a bunch of my other videos or you've just watched videos on setting. You're dedicated. I'm telling you right now, the difference is not going to be how hard you work on the offer because I know you'll work hard. I know you'll put in the reps. The difference is going to be the offer you pick from the start. So make sure not to make that mistake. A question I get all my guys to ask themselves is when they're on an interview, would I be willing to work and commit to this team and give them all I got for the next 6 months? If not, then avoid the emotional bias. They're probably not worth working with and it's not worth your time. Go find more interviews. Like, this is not about landing the first role. It's about what comes after. Setting is the entry point into a completely different trajectory. The people who treat it like a launchpad will go into closing or management or growth operator or running their own offers. We have Teddy, who's making over $45,000 a month running his own sales management agency. Yes, he sources from us. We have Sebastian, who's making like $30,000 per month as a growth operator. And we have Josh, who went from working construction at 17 to making over $27,000 last month as a closer. I could genuinely go on forever because these are not exceptions. This is just a pattern we are continuously seeing in Setters Academy. The first role isn't the destination, it is just the starting line. Now, understanding this is one thing, actually executing on it is another. If you want to skip the hard part of finding and vetting offers all on your own and get placed directly onto an offer you know is good and can make you a lot of money and is already vetted, check out the first link in the description. Peace.